Welcome to this Global Campus training for New Analytics in Canvas. New Analytics provides interactive charts and downloadable reports which illustrate student participation, grade, and attendance data. It offers a quick and easy way to monitor progress and identify at-risk students. Numerous studies indicate that support and feedback are most effective when provided immediately, rather than a few days, weeks, or months down the line. I will be sharing New Analytics from our training site rather than opening an actual course space. I'm doing this to avoid sharing student names and grading data, which would be a FERPA violation. If it is not too distracting, I recommend that you access New Analytics in one of your courses and follow along as we go. By the end of this training, you should be able to locate and navigate course grade and weekly activity analytics, message students based upon course grade or participation, use settings to organize and filter charts and tables, locate and download reports and course activity, including missing, late, or excused assignments, and finally be able to view and navigate the online attendance report. To access New Analytics, first go to your course homepage, and in the menu on the right, select New Analytics. New Analytics can also be placed as a menu item on your course menu. If you don't see it here, select Settings, then the Navigation tab, scroll down until you find New Analytics, select and drag the tab into your menu, and then save at the bottom of the page. When you select the New Analytics button, it will open in the course grade view. As you can see, there are 4 other views: weekly online activity, students, reports, and online attendance. We will go into more detail for each of these views. The average course grade is listed at the top of the page. Below that, for reporting accuracy, it shows the last time analytics data was updated. Data is refreshed every 24 hours. Some report data may be delayed up to 40 hours. Only active student enrollments are included in data for New Analytics. The chart at the bottom of the course grade view shows an average grade for all individual assignments in the course. The x-axis displays an icon to indicate if the activity is an assignment, quiz, or discussion. The legend above shows that an assignment icon looks like a paper with a pencil above it, discussion icon looks like 2 thought bubbles, and the quiz icon looks like a rocket ship. The y-axis indicates the grade average percentage for each assignment. Each dot in the chart represents a graded assignment. Select any dot to view more details about the assignment. We will go into more detail in a few moments. To compare sections or specific student grades to the course average, select the drop-down menu and then select a student name. If you know the name you're looking for, you can also simply type into the window and then select the name that pops up below. Canvas automatically adjusts the graph to display the new data. You can only compare 3 data sets at a time. To remove a student or section from the graph, select the X next to the student name, and it will be removed. Also, to further distinguish the different data sets, you can select the menu item to the right, and then from the drop-down, select Display Shapes. This will add shapes to each data set. To message students who meet certain criteria for all course assignments, select the Message Students Who button. You can message students who scored within a certain score range or have missing or late submissions. If you want to message students within a certain score range, enter the range in the windows below. You will notice a highlighted link that shows, in this case, 2 students who are within this range. Select this link to show the names of the two students who are within this range. You can then add a subject line and a message and send your message to these two students. Neither of these students will be able to see the other student's name. Next, when we select the Missing tab, you notice that we have 7 students with missing assignments. Once again, we can select that to see the names of the students, provide a title, and send a message. If we then select Late for students who have submitted assignments late, we notice there are no students who have submitted assignments late. Now let's go back to the course grade view and hover over a point on the graph. In this case, we see an essay quiz. Also below, you'll notice the icon, a rocket ship, indicates that this is a quiz. Select the point to open a window showing a grade distribution for the class. You can select a bar on the distribution to view students who receive scores within that specific score range. When you do that, you'll see the name of the students, and also notice in the top right-hand corner, you have, once again, the Message Students Who button. Select that to message those students. Also notice here that we have numbers, highlighted numbers indicating students who have missing responses to the quiz or late responses. Below missing, we see that there are 7. When we select that number, we can see the students who have missed this quiz. And once again, if we select Message Students Who, we can message those students. Going back to the course grade view once again, if you'd like to download course grade data as a CSV file, select the Download CSV button. This will download a zip file of your course grade data. The file will include columns that identify the student's name, overall course grade, assignment on time %, last page view time, last participation time, the last time they logged out, and finally their email address and ID. Another way to view course grade data is through the data table view. To access that view, select the menu button and then data table. This view shows the assignment name, due date, and average score for that assignment. Selecting the average score will open up the bar chart that we saw previously. These are selectable. If you select them, that will show you the students who receive that scores within that range. You can also select students who have missing responses or late responses. And then once again, select Message Students Who to message those students. And next, let's take a look at the weekly online activity view. Here you have a weekly view of student participation and page views. At the bottom chart here, you notice this shows average participation by week, and the chart above shows average page views by week. So what do we mean by participation? Actions which generate analytics for course participation by students, including when a student posts a new comment to an announcement, when they submit an assignment, when they load a collaboration to view or they edit a document, when students post a new comment to a discussion, when they create a page, when they start taking a quiz, or when they submit a quiz. All of these things generate analytics for course participation. Notice at the bottom of the chart on the x-axis, the data is broken up into weekly increments. To view student participation in page views for a specific week, select a point on the chart for that week. I'm going to select this point over 12/5. So I will be looking at data from 12/5 to 12/12. The window that opens will show the date range for the week, December 5th through the December 12th, the last time the data was updated. Below will be highlighted numbers indicating students who did or did not view pages or participate during this week. You can select the highlighted numbers to view those students. Here you see there were 2 students who viewed pages, 5 students who didn't view pages for this week, there were 2 students who participated and 5 students who did not participate. Above these numbers, you can also see that the total page views for this week were 29. When we select the 5 who did not participate for this week, a Message Students Who page opens. We can see here that there are 5 students who did not participate. When we select that, we can see the names of the students. We can then send a message to these students. We can then do the same thing for students who didn't view. Select that, view to students, and send a message. Lower on the page, you will see a list of student names, which shows the number of page views and participations for each individual student for that week. Selecting the Resources tab, we see participation and page views by individual resource. Here we can see the number of students who either viewed or participated, the number of page views, and the number of participations. Now moving back up to the top of the page, to the right of the date, you'll notice there's a Download CSV button. Select this and you will download 2 spreadsheets, one that contains the individual student names along with their page views and participations for that week, and the other one will include a column listing the individual resources, the numbers of students who participated or viewed in those resources, and then the actual number of page views and participations for each resource. Okay, returning to the weekly online activity view. If you'd like to look at this data as a data table, select the menu button, and then from the drop-down, select Data Table. Here the data is listed. The date increments you see here in the middle of the page. Here is December 5th through December the 11th. Below that you will see page views followed by a hyperlinked number which indicates the number of average page views for this week, and then below that participation and the average number of participations for that week. It doesn't really matter which one of these links that you select, you will go to the same page. That page shows the date range for this data, the last time the data was updated, total page views, and then hyperlinked numbers indicating the number of students who viewed, the number of students who didn't view, the number of students who participated this week, and the number of students who did not participate this week. Once again, as we saw before, you can select these hyperlinked numbers. In this case, I'll select did not participate for this week, and I will go to the Message Students Who page. I can then select the 5 students to see who those 5 students are who did not participate for this week. I can then send them a message. Another way that you can think about using this Message Students Who tool is, for example, if you had an assignment during the week that required the students to review the course syllabus, this window Resources, you could type in course syllabus, and this would show you the number of students who did not view the course syllabus for that week. And so this would be a really good way to find out whether or not your students have been participating in this specific resource for that week. Next, let's close this window and move on to the Students view. Select Students from the tabs. This page shows a column listing individual student names, their current grade, percent that they've submitted their assignments on time, the last participation date, the last page view, total number of page views, and the total number of participations. You'll also see the Message Students Who button, which will allow you to search for students based upon certain score ranges, if they have missing assignments or late assignments. Also, you'll notice the Download CSV button, which will allow you to download a spreadsheet containing all of this data. If you have a large class, you can select this drop-down menu and search for an individual student's name, or if you know their name, you can type into this window and then select. Okay, next let's select an individual student's name from this left-hand column. When we do this, the page that we come to should be familiar. This is the course grade view for the individual student. On this page, you notice the student's name at the top. There are 3 tabs below that: course grade, weekly online activity, and communication. I'll go into communication a little more in detail later. Below this, we have the student's current grade, and then below that, the course grade chart for this individual student. You will remember that these points identify individual assignments. The icons identify assignments, discussions, or quizzes. The y-axis shows the grade percentage for each assignment. Solid dots indicate an assignment that's been graded, and empty dots indicate an assignment that has not been graded. On the left corner, we have a Download CSV button that will allow us to download this data. And to the right of that, a menu button. The menu button will allow us to see a data table view of this information. When you select that, it opens to a column where you see individual assignment names, the due date for each assignment. You have a column to show you when the assignment was submitted, the status of the assignment, and finally the grade of that assignment. To download this data as a spreadsheet, select the Download CSV button. Next, let's select the Weekly Online Activity tab. The student's total page views and total participations are displayed above the chart. Data is displayed as a chart with 2 rows, average page views and average participations. Data for the week that is currently in progress is indicated by a dotted line. To download the CSV of the student's weekly online activity data, select the Download button. When you select a point on the timeline, the page that opens shows you the resources that the student has either participated in or viewed during this week. Next to the dates of the week that you're looking at, you see a Download CSV. This will download a spreadsheet that contains this list of resources, the number of page views, and the number of participations. The weekly online activity also has a data table view. To access that, select Menu and then Data Table. This is the view of the weekly online activity data table. The data table shows the week start date, the number of page views for that week, and the number of participations. To download a CSV, select the Download CSV. Select a specific date under week starting to see the resources that were accessed during that week and the page views and participations. You can download a CSV of this data by selecting Download CSV. Next, select the Communications tab to view communications between students and the instructor in the Canvas inbox. The communications graph shows the number of conversations that have taken place between the student and the instructor in the Canvas inbox. The total number of messages sent by students and instructors is displayed above the graph. The x-axis shows the date range, and the y-axis shows the number of messages sent. Student and instructor messages are differentiated by different colors. To view details of the bar graph, hover over the specific bar you want to view. You can view the total number of messages sent for the date range. Click the bar to view the specific days and number of messages that were sent in the range. Here you see that the student has sent 2 messages and the instructor has sent 3 messages on this day. To download a CSV of the communication data, select the Download CSV button. To view a data table view of the chart, select the menu, and then from the drop-down, select Data Table. The data table view shows the week start date, the number of student messages, and the number of instructor messages. To download a CSV of this data, select the Download CSV button. Next, let's take a look at the Reports tab. This view provides a list of reports based upon New Analytics data. The Missing Assignments report provides a list of assignments that have not been submitted yet. The Late Assignments, a list of assignments that have been submitted late. The Excused Assignments are a list of assignments that are excused. The Class Roster provides a list of students enrolled in the courses section with student contact information such as email and SIS ID. And finally, the Course Activity report provides a list of daily user views and participations. Note, the Course Activity report only includes course activity data for the past 14 days. To run any of these reports, simply select the Run Report button. When you do this, you'll notice there is also a filter button on the window that opens. This allows you to filter by assignment, student name, or section name. If I select assignment, then I can further select the drop down underneath and then select an individual assignment. If I would like to add a student name to that, I just select the plus filter button again. And then from the drop down, I can select student name. And then from the drop down under that, select a specific student's name. When you have filtered as much as you want, you then simply select Run Report to run a report on this information. Okay, now let's go to our last view in New Analytics, the Online Attendance view. Select Online Attendance from the menu. Online Attendance view provides a way to monitor online attendance. Online attendance is defined by criteria selected at the institutional level. To see this criteria, select Settings from the top right-hand corner. When you do that, you'll see a list of the criteria in the lower part of the page. The first criteria is course access. Students view a page in the course. The second criteria, students post a new comment to an announcement or a discussion. Next, when a student submits an assignment. And then next, when a student really creates a page. And finally, when a student starts taking a classic quiz or submits a classic quiz. If the student does any one of these things in the course on a given day, they will receive a green check mark for the day indicating that they have met online attendance criteria for that day. I'll show you what that looks like. In the window below here you see the green check marks. These indicate that these students have met the criteria for these days. Also in this window you see the names of the students in the first column, column identifying the section. The next column is titled Days Not Met. What that indicates is the number of days during the week that the students have not met the criteria. So here you see that this student has not met the criteria for 5 days of this week. This student has not met the criteria for 4 days. The X surrounded by a red line indicates that students have not met the criteria. The green circle with a check mark once again indicates that students have met the criteria. In the area above, you notice there is a list of dates, January the 16th through January the 22nd. This identifies the week that you are looking at in the chart below. To move forward or backward in time, select the arrow to the right to move forward, or select the arrow pointing backward to move backward in time. You also have the option to view by day. Select that and you will see a view of the students' attendance on a daily basis. Going back to the week view, select the weekdays drop-down. This will open a drop-down which will show you the days of the week where you are monitoring or not monitoring attendance. The dark background indicates that the day is selected to monitor attendance. You can set the class days to monitor attendance by selecting or deselecting days. If, for example, your class is only active on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, you can deselect Tuesday and Thursday, and then select Done. Notice that this now says Custom, and in the chart below, it shows that you are only monitoring Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. By default, the report displays online attendance for all students, but specific sections or students can be selected. Selecting this drop-down window, you can then select a student's name, and the chart will adjust for that specific student. To deselect that student, simply select the X next to the student's name, and the chart will return to viewing all students. By default, the report filters all criteria, but instructors can filter the report to show students who have met all criteria or students who have not met all criteria by selecting this filter button. That concludes this training for new analytics in Canvas. If you would like to contact us, please send an email to aoi.li@wsu.edu or visit our site at li.wsu.edu to learn more about trainings and on-demand support. Thank you.